Me this week, and this being the last show we're taping this year, I'm sure that he'll be on some of the reruns. But it's really not just the same saying farewell for another year without that crazy mustachioed, zany, madcap, fascist brother at my side. I did last week's show, not last week, 2 weeks ago. I did the whole show without him. He was somewhere else, and to tell the truth, I really had a great deal of fun because my needs in life are quite simple. All I need is my guitar here, my golden throat, my magic fingers, and of course you wonderful people, and an incredible amount of money. I'm just kidding. I don't need you people. Seriously, folks, but when you think about it, what I don't need, and this is for true, what I don't need is some crazy, hot rod crazed kid putting me down every chance he gets on just because he's my brother. And I don't need that because I've got something that, well, it's more important. Something that can fill any void, and because I've got show business in my blood. There's no business like show business. There's no business I know. Everything about it is appealing. Everything the traffic will allow, yes sir. Nowhere can you get that happy feeling when you are stealing that extra bite. Oy vey.
Just go on with the song.
So you decided to come back just when I was getting into my heavy showbiz number. You had to come in. You couldn't stand being away because I was getting a couple of laughs there, and you had to come in, huh?
Yeah, you got a lot of laughs, Tommy, a lot of laughs, because when I'm gone, they all laugh behind your back.
Why don't you just take your mouth in for a overhaul and give a lube job to your mustache?
Tommy, I saw that show. I saw
What's that all over your lip?
What do you mean, what's all over
The old Scorpio sore or something like that? Got smart and someone probably punched you out, huh?
No, I just got injured a little bit. Listen, I watched that show when I was gone, and the comedy on this show, I'm very proud to say, your comedy in particular reached a new low. Just way down there, it was the most ridiculous, inane thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, well, just don't try to make up now. I never liked you before you became a bigot.
Listen here. Tommy, you are absolutely impossible to work with. You have Dan Rowan on the show, and he won't come back. He told me, he says, you're the worst person in the world he's ever worked with, and he doesn't like you. Personally, professionally, or anything else? And I said, stand in line. That's a long line, because my brother's the most ridiculous person in the world.
Yeah, well, anybody with a mustache is kind of a...
Shut up, I'm not through yet. The only reason I'm here is because you have the name of Smothers, and I have to protect that name. If you change your name, I'd leave you alone a little bit.
You were adopted.
It's not
You
good
don't,
enough. You're the worst ridiculous comic I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah? It's good to have you back.
It's good to be back.
I don't even
Really
know.
was.
I don't even know how I did the show without you.
I don't know how you
Leslie.
did it either, but you did a good job. I'm really serious. You did a beautiful job.
And you did a beautiful job at Sebring. My brother, by the way, was the highest placer in his class. He took an 8th overall and first in his class at Sebring 12-hour enduro race.
That's right.
And that is beautiful. I'm proud of that, too.
Thank you. I scared myself, too.
You scared me, too.
I'll tell you that.
You feel right on your mouth, didn't you?
I missed a shift. Let's get on with the show.
There's no business like show business. There's no business I know. Even when the turkey that you know will fold, you may be stranded out in the cold. Yes, sir. Still waiting for
Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. With guest stars Lee French, the Cringers, special guest star Anthony Newley, the Jimmy Joy Singers, the Ron Poindexter Dancers, and Nelson Riddle and his orchestra.
With all the pain relievers in the world to choose from, doctors most often recommend one specific ingredient for headaches. 2 Anacin tablets have more of this specific pain-relieving ingredient than 4 of the other leading extra-strength tablets. The others contain additional pain relievers, and 2 is the recommended dosage, but you should know that 2 Anacin contain more of this specific pain reliever than 4 of the others. Next headache, take Anacin.
Now, the fastest relief known for bronchial asthma attacks can restore free breathing in as little as 15 seconds. It's Primatene Mist. Used as directed, Primatene Mist instantly delivers medication deep into congested lungs, opens breathing passages, relaxes bronchial spasms, so asthma attack is relieved fast. Get Primatene Mist. Restores free breathing in as little as 15 seconds.
Tommy, what do you think you're doing?
What does it look like I'm doing?
You know what it looks like you're doing.
That's what I'm doing.
Now, come on, Tommy. You got an introduction to perform. Now do it. Now don't mess around. Now come on, do it.
1 minute.
Do the introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest wrote 2 smash Broadway musicals with his partner Leslie Brickus, and he also directed and starred in both of them. And he's just written and directed and starred in his own motion picture.
Not only is he an actor, a playwright, director, songwriter, and composer, he's our special guest. Ladies and gentlemen,
Mr. Anthony Newley.
Poor Punchinello, laughing at fate. Isn't it time you knew? Learn, little fellow, before it's too late, that fate has the laugh on you. If all the world's a stage and life is just a part we play, learn from an endless page. Why should we dare the things we dare? Why should we care at all? Surely the gods must laugh somewhere, watching us as we fall. Would it be true to say that if the world is just a stage, my life is more than just a play? Stage where kings and minstrels come and go, each for a tinsel age. How can you teach a child to know? How can you say to youth, living is just a passing show? We'll never know the truth. It must be true to say that if just a stage, life is no more than just a play.
That was really great. You know, you're a fine talent. You write, you perform, you produce, direct, sing, and compose music like Like that song you just sang, you wrote that for your new movie,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Can I say it? Because I don't think you're going to make
I
it.
haven't made it all through the whole time.
Well, that's not strictly true. Can Hieronymus Merkin ever forget Mercy Hump and find true happiness is the full title of the movie.
Well, I wouldn't want to say that, but I know...
Did you hear somebody went...
Yeah.
Do you believe that? It's only a title, folks.
I want to tell you, though, the people who haven't seen it, I know there's not too many people yet who have seen seen the movie. I want to tell you that from the seriousness of my heart, that is the most beautiful, most poetic, most artistic, and probably the most elegant and moving...
Tom, it's a very raunchy movie.
You're really weird. I mean, really, really weird. I mean, this down a little bit weird, but you're pretty weird. I mean,
Tom,
I can't...
listen, I was putting you on a little bit. I mean, in essence, what we were trying to do was to show that in this show, through an extension of man's visible understanding, a search for inner Creole. I must be able to read a card better than that.
Well, Inner Creole was very creative. The question I have for you, how do you get people to do things like that? I mean, I'm American, you know, and we don't ever do anything.
You don't do that over here?
Oh, of course
Listen,
not.
they're artists, Tom, and in the context of a creative work, they're involved in what they're doing, and it becomes beauty and art rather than raunchy.
I just saw the photographs from Mr. Newley's movie.
Oh, Tony, this is Officer Judy.
Hi, Officer Judy.
Hello.
You just saw the movie?
Yes, I saw the photographs.
What did you think of it?
Thought it was poetry.
Good, that's what I hoped you...
Dirty poetry.
The old mace in the face?
That's right, Tom. What now, Mr. Newley?
Just read the card, Officer Judith.
And now here is Anthony Newley singing another song from his dirty movie.
A man is alone from the day he's born to the dawn of his last goodbye. And if anyone tells you anything else, he's selling you the same old lie. I need no God, I believe no dreams, and it seems that I've always known that we laugh and cry, that we hope and sigh, but we live and we die alone. I'm all I need. If I've got me, I've got rainbows. If I got me, just you see how the rain goes away. 'Cause I got somebody who cares, someone who shares my company. Dump anything but pity on my plate. I'm standing straight and I'm sitting pretty. While I got me, I got a sky full of bluebirds. When did you see someone as lucky as me? I'm all I need. If I got me, who needs people? The guy you see at the top of the heap will be me. So keep your penny songs of love. Me, I'm above that, sing along. I've got a song I'll sing to the end, and I've got a friend. It's me. I'm all I need.
then there's no problem with backseat drivers.
I got a problem with this cigarette, though. It tastes flat.
Really? These won't. Cools?
Come up to the cool taste. Come up to cool. Come up to the cool taste. You never had it so fresh.
And here he comes! Kenny B, ladies and gentlemen.
Boy, is that guy good.
Boy, you better believe it.
Say, so are these cools. They taste fresh.
I thought you'd like them.
Cool Filter Kings, Cool Filter Longs. Both have the taste of extra coolness.
You never had it so fresh.
Our next guest is part of the family. The hope for peace and a firm belief that vegetables is the only road to health. Keep her very happy and entertaining. You're next.
Oh, yeah, just noticing the thing on your mouth. Someone punch you in the mouth. Got a terrible thing in your mouth.
Just go ahead.
Makes me sick. Now, this next guest of ours believes that a carrot a day will keep the evil spirits away.
That's maybe I should have had a carrot, huh?
So let's have a big hand for our own Bugs Bunny.
No, Tommy, hold on. You're wrong. My brother's wrong as usual.
You want a sore on the other side of your lip?
Summer is just around the corner, and with summer we have a change in climate, not only in the weather, but socially as well.
So here to tell us what the climate will be like this summer, our forecaster, Miss Lee French.
Watch out.
The national climate is a very wild thing to get into these days. You know, with current conditions the way they are, there's a great deal of weirdness affecting our national climate. Now, where is all this weirdness coming from? Maybe if we can break it down and dig it, everything will just be swell tomorrow. So let's do that right now and take a look at our national climate map. You know, on the West Coast, swirling hordes of tourists are expected to move in to the coastal beach areas once again this summer, as they always do. And this shifting mass of hot hordes may create a problem there. Since the San Andreas Fault, which is a big sort of crack in the Earth's crust, runs all the way through California, just like this, scientists are concerned that the additional weight and pressure from these hot, swirling hordes it might cause California to break off and fall into the sea. For those of you who do plan to stay in this area, though, but are worried about this, relief is definitely in sight for at least this portion right in here. Informed sources have informed us that the Mexican government is confiscating and burning large amounts of a peculiar weed. It is therefore expected that northerly winds will push an overall high into this area. And possibly on up. Like this. As usual, there is also a definite mass of heat, which is trying to bring the high down. Elsewhere in the West, particularly in the New Mexico area, right in here, the heat is also coming on very strong there, and the people there are finding some very far-out ways to keep cool. Moving on eastward now and down into Texas, into this area right in here, there are definite social pressures there created by the abnormally dense in that area. Which seem to make it impossible for certain types of long-haired animals to survive in that climate. As we move on up now into the north central states, there's really not a lot going on there now, but later on in the summer, they can expect a downward change right in here on down due to political inversion and local condensation of opinions. Over now, we move into the Great Lakes region, into this area right here. And those inhabitants should be on the lookout for dark masses, which are expected to move in from the south, from this area, and take over all the metropolitan areas there, especially Chicago and Detroit and Cleveland. Oh, there are already heavy storm warnings out in that area, so if you plan to vacation in the Great Lakes region this summer, you'll want to be sure and take along a Soul Brothers sign with you. Now, we move down to the lower East Coast, down into the Florida area here, and the weather there will vary. In early summer, it will be sunny there, and later on in August, it will be Republican. With some hopes of a significant change, one way or the other. There are also some very disturbing formations expected up in this area right here along the coastline here, and they're expecting eruptions here in New York area and New Jersey. Now, as we take a closer look at this eastern section, we've discovered the presence of a small but intense storm center that is in fact causing the turbulent and disastrous climate of our nation. Washington, D.C. Yes, sir, folks, it's this little booger right here. Yes, it's causing all of this. Well, you know, when the weather gets better there, it'll probably be better everywhere. For example, if calmer conditions were to move into the Washington area, chances are that our western climate here would change, and we would get rid of this type of weather, and it would become very sunny and humid in that area. And this warm feeling would probably extend into the Great Lakes region up in here and on down into the south and change the entire climate of our nation. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Ever since Eve, women have faced the problem of preventing a shortage of iron. A leading medical journal reports that many healthy young women have little or no iron reserves. You see, some women even risk becoming anemic and tired. Take just one Fem-Iron tablet every day. Fem-Iron gives you iron, all iron, to maintain the supply you need to prevent iron shortage. So today, get Fem-Iron, the very, very feminine iron tablet.
She dreams again of the man she met. Something about him she can't forget.
There's something about an aqua velvet.
When he held her close, it was very clear. Something about him made him nice to be near.
There's something about an aqua velvet.
The aftershave girls can't forget. Aqua Velva. Have you tried it yet?
There's something about an aqua
One day you'll look to see I'm gone, but tomorrow might rain, so I'll follow the sun. Someday you'll know I was the one, but tomorrow may rain, so I'll follow the sun. And now the time has come, and so my love I must go. And though I lose a friend, in the end you will know. Oh, 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 one day you'll find that I have gone, but tomorrow may rain, so I'll follow the sun. Tomorrow may rain, so I'll follow the sun. Tomorrow may rain, so I'll follow the sun. Whoa, 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 yeah. I don't really think it deserved any whistles, but we got through it okay.
You know what's interesting? You know, how
Right.
old is that song? It's one of the early Beatles.
1965.
The Beatles have been writing stuff for so long. It's so good.
Yeah. You know what I was just thinking? What just struck my mind? I just said to myself, I says, wow, like that, because we're getting closer and closer to the end of our last show and the end of the season. I sure want everybody, I sure want to thank everybody who worked on the show.
Now, wait a minute. Let's be truthful. Do you mean you actually want to thank everybody?
Dickie, if that's what I said, that's what I mean. Because whatever I say, I mean, and whatever I mean, I say.
Yeah.
Because the great truth in life
All right,
is the
all
thing
right,
that
all
will
right.
bring
Tommy.
us
I
happiness and
understand.
truth
I
throughout the
understand.
life.
I understand. You want to thank everybody.
That's right.
Okay, just think about that for a minute.
I don't have to think about it, Dickie.
I said think about it.
You got a fascist streak in you.
I said think. Don't talk back. Think.
I don't.
It's a new experience. Start out the summer by thinking. Your brain. Think. Are you thinking?
Oh, wow.
I told you to dig it.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, while my brother Tom is thinking, I'd like to remind everybody that a lot of people work together to put on a big network show like this.
Oh, wow.
And we'd like to take this...
Wow, did I just have a heavy thought?
What?
You know, a lot of people work together to put on a big network show like
All
that.
right. That is just...
I was laying a pretty heavy thought on you.
Yeah,
and
I
you don't-
appreciate it. Now, do you want to thank everybody or not? Yes or no?
Sure, I do. I want to thank all of our guests who appeared on this show because of their singing and dancing and everything helped spread a little bit of love and joy throughout the world of wonderment.
That's a very nice thought.
Yeah, and I'd like for all of our guests to join me in singing our exciting brother theme. Everybody, da 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 da. That
Okay,
one.
agree. I guess we'll take Anthony Newley, the French, the Clingers. Come on out. Tell me
Hey,
what's...
dummy.
What are you talking
You want another? You want a sore on the other side of your mouth?
You said you want our guests to thank
I said
everybody.
all of our guests, all season long. I want all of our guests, all season
Listen,
long, to come out and...
dumb, all of our guests don't happen to be here. You know, it took 25 shows to get this far.
No, see, beyond... See, my brother is not my...
I'm over here.
I know where you are. I'm just telling the people out in video land.
Well, they're
My
over
brother
there,
doesn't
too.
know that all of our guests this season
there
we've
they
got down in a room, downstairs, a little dark room. I don't know what they're doing. But they're down there, and they're all ready to sing, just sing their little hearts out.
Really?
Yes. Okay. Ready, everybody? Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Do 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 do.
Ba-da-da-doo. Baise-moi. Ba-da-da-doo. Ba 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 ba.
Now, see, they're doing a part I don't even know.
I don't know the rest of it.
Why don't we skip the...
Are you sure Bing Crosby started this way?
Roger Carroll, right now.
We'll be right back with Anthony Newley on the second half of the Smothers Comedy Brothers Hour.
Put Terryton's charcoal filter in front of any other cigarette. It might make it better, tasting, but not quite like the Terryton taste you get. Activated charcoal, we've got it, which is why us Terryton smokers would rather fight than switch.
Hey, listen, I think I know who they are. And what's more, I think I know where they are. You're probably wondering who I'm talking about. Well, I'm talking about they. You know, they say it's going to be a long winter. They say don't talk with your mouth full. Did you ever wonder who they are? They are the people who tell you what to do, when to do it, how to do it, who to do it to, and how to get rid of it once you've got it. They are running our lives. They are in charge. Ever since I was a kid, I've been hearing about them. When they begin, they begin. They try to tell us we're too young. They say that falling in love is wonderful. It's wonderful, so they say. Who do they think they are? I'm tired of it and I won't stand for it anymore.
Tony, could you just stick to the script, please? They say we don't have much time.
See what I mean? What do they know? I'd like to find out who they really are.
Absence makes the heart
grow bigger.
No, but grows, right? Absence makes the heart grow.
No moss.
No, that's close.
No moss.
No moss. Hey, that's perfect for that Rolling Stone project we have no ending for. You know, the Rolling
great.
Stone?
A rolling stone gathers no moss.
moss.
That's perfect.
Perfect.
They'll love that.
They'll-
The minute we send it
they'll
out to
dig it.
they'll dig it.
They'll dig
Marge. Hi, Marge. Marge, could you take this down?
Take it. We got a good one, Marge.
A rolling stone gathers no moss. Well, what do you think, Marge?
Well, it's not spiffy, but it's okay.
Wait a minute, Marge. Don't go. We have another one. We're very close on this.
Yeah.
Write it down. Absence makes the heart grow.
Thicker.
No.
Faster.
No, it doesn't grow faster.
Redder.
No, it doesn't change.
Fonder.
Fonder, that's it. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Geez, thanks, Marge. Write them up and bring them over there. Put them on your desk.
Excuse me, are you them?
No, we're not they.
We're not
we
they.
know them, but we're not.
Listen, I know you guys have something to do with they, and don't try to tell me otherwise.
we're us.
I demand to know where they are and who they think they are.
No, wait, calm down.
Yes.
You know what they say. They say patience is a virtue.
If you don't let me see them, I'm going to tear this joint to small
Now listen,
pieces
sweetheart.
and have it in a creel.
Sweetheart, calm down. They say don't make waves.
Oh, they do they? Well, let me tell you something. If I don't get them, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with you two broken-down barkeeps. I'm going to take you to the National Council of the Creel, and I want to see them now.
Where are your manners?
Yes.
They say it's important to make a good first impression.
And they certainly do, and you're not doing it, and we're going to tell they.
We're going to tell
Where are they? I'll tell them myself. I demand to see them.
They don't want to be seen. But how about a picture?
Anything, but just let me see what they look like.
Well, we don't happen to have a picture of them.
Oh.
Of they. But you know what they say. A picture is worth 1,000 words, and we've got a lot of words.
Yes, they sure do.
I think I broke my laugher.
And you know what they say, laughter's contagious.
I think I've got it.
I think you give... Hey, what's so funny?
Well, they are. They're beautiful.
Oh, really? If they're so funny, let me see them.
Well. If I did let you see them, what would you do with them?
Well, I'd say, what makes them think they're so big? Now, wait a minute. Before you go, I want to make sure I'm going to find the...
Where you going, Tony?
Hi, Officer Judith.
I think you've gone a little too far, Tony.
The old mace in the face gag.
That's right. You know what they say, you can't fight City Hall. Remember that. I'm gonna let you go this time.
You can't fight City Hall. They also said that if man was meant to fly, he'd have been born with wings. Remember that one? And they said that World War I was the war to end all wars. And they say that if we adopt a new anti-ballistic missile system, this will assure world peace. You know, it makes you think if they really know what they're talking about. So before you do what they say, you got to know who they are. Like this. Music, please. The general consensus of people who have experienced the act of what we call falling in love and have made certain value judgments about the resulting effect upon one's emotional state say that falling in love is wonderful, wonderful,
in every way. So those people to whom I referred in the above statement sigh.
Most folks have heard about Colonel Sanders' Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now, I don't want to brag too much, but you see, it's my secret recipe that turns the trick, don't you see? And it took me nearly a lifetime to find it. Over 40 years before I hit upon just the right combination of the 11 different spices and herbs that would complement the flavor of chicken. And of course, that's something I'm not about to divulge now, don't you see? Of course, I'm not saying it's better than what you'd fix at home, but most everybody else will say it is. Why, some days more than 1 million people visit the Colonel. And it's the secret recipe that keeps them coming back, don't you see? That's why folks call it finger licking good. The best compliment you can pay a man for his cooking.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. If you want Kentucky Fried Chicken, you have to visit me.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's a group that appeared many times on the program, and Tommy and I like them very much, and we've come to think of them as part of our family, right?
That's right. So tonight we'd like to present them in a family way. Here they are, the Clingers.
Some forever, not for better. Some have gone and some remain. All these places have their moments. With lovers and friends, I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my them all. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you, and these memories lose their meaning when I still call love as something new. Affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. In my life, I've loved you.
Part of the art of dance is to make the difficult look easy. Now, dancers train for many years learning the difficult positions necessary for the grace of ballet. For example, this is position number 1. And this is position number 2. And this is one of the most difficult, position number 4, with a plie.
What are you doing?
Well,
What are you doing?
You probably wouldn't believe it if I told you what...
You know, you've been really weird lately. I'm gonna have to take you in.
Well, I was, the old mace in the face.
That's right.
Just as soon I'm getting so...
You wanna do it yourself? Go ahead. Oh, you weren't supposed to do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Ron Poindexter Dancers.
This is the thin cigarette everybody's talking about. Silva Thin, the one that's in. Latest U.S. government figures show Silva Thin's lowest in tar and nicotine of all 100s, lower than most Kings. The figures don't show the rich tobacco flavor. You can judge that for yourself. Silva Thins, the only thin cigarette with the figures plus the flavor. Silva Thin, the one that's in, regular or menthol.
We'd like to thank our guests for this evening, the Clingers, lovely girls, Lee French, and our special guest star, the very talented Anthony Newley. Hey, hey. And we'd like to thank everybody, and we do mean everybody who helped put the Smothers Brothers Comedy on the air this season, right? Comedy Hour. I talk like Ed Sullivan. Comedy Hour. Probably because of the terrible sore in your mouth, so we can forgive you during this. Okay, who do we want to start with first? We'd like to thank all those people. We'd like to start off with thanking our director, Mr. Tim Kiley. Our producers, Alan Bly and George Sunga. Our writers, Bob Einstein, Steve Martin, Carl Gottlieb, Paul Wayne, Larry Yeoman, and John Barrett. And our musical director, Nelson Riddle and the Nelson Riddle Orchestra. Hey, hey! And our choral director, Jimmy Joyce with his Jimmy Joyce Singers. No, he's popularly known as Jimmy Juice.
And our art director, Romaine Johnston, and his associate producer, and our associate producer, Nanette Island.
Our choreographer, Ron Poindexter, and the 80 talented toes of the Ron Poindexter Dancers.
That's right.
Who else? We'd like to thank also Chuck Braverman, our young filmmaker who made those beautiful films.
Right. And our costume designer, Sal Anthony, and his assistant, Helen O'Leary, and our talent consultant, Lana Newman, and our assistant to the producers, Mimi Sewell, and our announcer, the one and only Roger Carroll.
Our musical consultant, Mr. Jimmy Dale, and the two charming production assistants, Natalie Goodman, Bridget Jensen, and, of course, our receptionist, Diane Nissel.
Oh, yes, sir. And the technicians who make the wheels go round, Associate Director Bob Lehendro, Lighting Director Art Roberts, Technical Director Robert Schultz, and Audio Dick Oldecker.
You're doing very well.
I'm very good for the sore in my mouth. Stage managers also we'd like to thank very much because they are so important. Ray Sneath and Peter Barth. And also the guy who puts the tapes together when we have a little problems, he edits it, Mr. James E. Brady. And our, right, put up Brady there.
Who is also known as Jimmy Juicer.
Jimmy Juicer, he's the juicer of Jimmy. And our grips and stagehands and lighting technicians, all of them. They are.
And we'd like to also thank our makeup man, Ben Nye.
He does a good job on
our
you.
Hairdresser, Edie Panda.
Very good job on you.
The assistant art director, Jim Newton, and set decorator, Charlie Kreiner.
Yeah.
And those wizards with the cue cards who keep us going, Cue Cards, Inc.
Cue Cards, Inc. They misspell everything. And, of course, I don't want to forget to thank my lovely secretary, Madeline Smith.
And I'd like to also thank...
Look at that stuff. Oh, wow.
And I'd like my secretary, to thank my secretary, who is part of the show tonight, my secretary, Judy.
Judy. Hey, and I would not like to forget our production consultant, a very, very important man, Mr. Jerry McPhee. Hi, Jerry.
Our executive producer, the charming and talented, gracious and witty, Mr. Ken Fritz.
Yeah. Look at that, Ken Fritz, he's come a long way.
Yes?
Yeah.
A lot of hair on his face.
Yeah, look at that hair. He had a crew cut when we found him. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that's all of it. The talent, the brains, and the muscle that it takes to put on a show like this.
Just wait a second. But we've thanked everybody here. We thank you very much for putting on the show, but there's one group of people we haven't thanked, and we...
You don't have to thank me, Tommy.
I thank you, too, by the way. I didn't have a chance to thank you.
I'm a whole group, I know that.
You've been a pillar during a lot of problems. But more than anything, we'd like to thank the viewers.
Right.
We want to thank you for continuing to watch the Smothers Brothers show, and we want to thank you very much for your support. You know, there was a producer on CBS, an executive producer of Hawaii Five-0, Leonard Freeman, and he made a quote. He said, "Most of TV manages to deal with nothing that happens to people between the time they are born and the time they die. We never touch the nerve centers of the society we are in."
That's a very heavy quote, too. And we have a certain point of view in the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour, and we feel that entertainment should contain some opinion, social comment, and should mirror the social changes that are happening in this great country.
Now, we have dealt in satire and social comment on our show, and sometimes we've missed our point. And every time we have missed the point, we want to apologize to those people we have offended. We particularly had some fun, satirical fun, with Lyndon Johnson, our president, during the past couple of seasons.
I remember him.
And sometimes we overdid it. And just in November, we sent him a letter apologizing for overlooking some of the worthwhile things that he accomplished in his administration while he was president.
And he replied to our letter with a beautiful statement, and I'd like to read you a couple short paragraphs on the letter that the president did send us. To be genuinely funny at a time when the world is in crisis is a task that would tax the talents of a genius. To be consistently fair when standards of fair play are constantly questioned demands the wisdom of a saint. It is part of the price of leadership of this great and free nation to be the target of clever satirists. You have given the gift of laughter to our people. May we never grow so somber
or self-important that we fail to appreciate the humor in our lives. There's a beautiful statement by a man who took a great deal of abuse and never once lost his dignity. You know, I once suggested to the network here that there should be an hour of adult programming every week, 1 hour, so that we figured we could express maybe some of our opinions on the things that are happening in the country without having angry letters coming in from parents objecting to the truth.
Right.
I made a grave error in that suggestion.
You certainly
because
did.
I should have requested 1 hour of youth programming. It seems that the younger people understand and question and are not particularly offended by controversy and sometimes even welcome it. Now, if the Smothers Brothers had 1 hour of youth programming every week, I think all the kids could then send their parents to bed with a bottle or go have them send them out on witch hunts. And because honestly, and I mean this sincerely, both Dick and I don't want to be a bad influence on the grown-ups and have them doing things they shouldn't be doing. You know, for example, there was a 14-year-old listener who wrote in and said, TV censorship is not letting you see what you already know. That's right. You know, you've probably been reading and hearing about our problem here at CBS, and we feel that we owe you viewers an explanation. So Tommy, why don't you tell them about our problems here? What problem? Did you guys hear about any problems? No problems here. No, you know, you mean there's a certain problems of contention we have. Well, you are our viewers, and as an obligation to our viewers who have been so important to us, you know, we've had many things I'm sure you're aware of, indirectly or directly, things that have been censored from our shows for the past three seasons. There was a sketch with Elaine May on censorship, which of course was censored. Right. And we also had a bad taste. That's what. Yeah. We also had an interview with Dr. Spock, which is not allowed on the air because Dr. Spock is a convicted felon. Terrible. And we've sent out some people to start burning his baby books. 22 million of them. Yeah. And we had various censorship cuts on about 75% of the season. We've had something cut out of our show. And a lot of you viewers have maybe been puzzled just recently when one of our shows, the Joan Baez and Jackie Mason show, was canceled, and in place, the last minute, was a rerun. Right? They were probably puzzled, but I was puzzled. I turned it on. I said, that doesn't look like the show we did last week. But that show that was taken off, it was, however, seen in Canada. Right. As a result, there's a lot of Canadians running around freaked out, not knowing what to do. So logically, I think we could assume that CBS is considering canceling the entire country of Canada. Right. So we'd like to thank our entire staff, all these people here that helped put on the show for you people out there. And please keep those cards and letters coming if you have anything good to say. Right. So, good night and peace.
Also appearing on tonight's show was Bob Einstein. This is Roger Carroll.
Can a wife with a job leave the office at 5 and serve an elegant dinner for 4 at 7? Sure she can, and you can too, with chicken rosemary, Bake the no-worry, no-watching Reynolds Wrap way. First, lightly brown 4 chicken breasts. Place each portion on a sheet of Reynolds Wrap. Add a can of mushroom soup, salt, pepper, and rosemary. Bring the Reynolds Wrap up over the chicken to seal in juices and flavor. And while it's baking, you can relax and enjoy your guests. Try chicken rosemary, the no-worry, no-watching way with strong, dependable Reynolds Wrap. Oven tempered for flexible strength. Reynolds Wrap.